Well, hello there guys. Today we're going to be drawing a nice, quick, simple picture of Bulbasaur from Pokemon. Now, when it comes to these Pokemon designs, they're fairly simple shapes. So we're just going to break this down as easy as possible. I'm going to start by drawing a nice, great big circle. Doesn't have to be perfect. Right in the middle of your page. And this is going to be for most of Bulbasaur's face and also a bit of the tummy as well. So hopefully I've got a very rough circle. You can't draw a perfect circle, so I build mine up by drawing lots of small little lines. Take it nice and easy. Once you've got the circle in, we're going to just split it in half down the middle, slightly off to the right, so my centre line has a little bit of a curve to it, sort of mapping out the face. And then you get to split it in half from the middle again, slightly looking down as well. So once you've got your circle in, if you just divide it into quarters, but with the middle being ever so slightly bottom and right of the centre, that's going to just map out where everything goes. Now with Bulbasaur, it's not a perfect circle for the face, so what we're going to continue to do is take off a tiny portion of the bottom here, and we're going to actually just say that this is where the bottom of the face comes in. So just take off a tiny bit of edge there, and what Bulbasaur's got is some eyes and ears that fall vaguely in line. So if we just take another quarter off of this circle, if you imagine the line comes down here, another one around about there, we're going to just drop in some triangular shapes. So a very kind of smooth, curvy triangle that goes up and down will be one of Bulbasaur's eyes, around about here, and then just curve that off. And the other one will be the other of Bulbasaur's eyes, just up and around about here. And again, let that curve off and down. And then Bulbasaur's mouth has this weird kind of beak to it. So if we start in line with this eye edge, around about down here, Bulbasaur's mouth is going to be a big smiling thing, but it goes along. And as you get to the middle, it pokes down just a little bit into a point like a turtle. And then same on the other side. It's then going to point back up again before finishing nice and wide in line with the bottom of the eye. And then we're just going to do a great big circular smile there. It's going to go near the bottom edge of the chin. Let's bring that up and around and up in. Drop a tiny little tooth down on this edge. And another tiny little tooth down on this edge. These teeth are in line with the eyes. There's a tongue inside, so we might just show a tiny edge of the inside of the mouth, but the rest is tongue. The eyes themselves are mostly going to be the iris and pupil. So if we just bring a line up here to show them looking off to the left, and just a line up and around to curve this pupil in, like so, and then a big white pupil in the middle, around about there, and around about there. Just looking off somewhere. So if we get the ears in as well, it's still in this quarter that we've made. Let's just make sure everything's in focus. Of course it is. It's still in this quarter here, so we're just going to create some ear bumps. Now one's going to come up around about here. Again, these are just smooth triangular shapes. One will bump up around about here and back, and then the other one is going to be around about here, so we'll just bump up around about here and back down again. Excellent. So those are the main bits in place already. We'll give him a little bit of an eyebrow line about there and an eyebrow line about there, just following the curve of that circle. And as for the rest of the body, a couple main bits. The main obvious bit is a massive bulb on his back. This is the biggest circle, so to speak. So we're going to draw a giant flattened circle. We're going to make a big onion shape, and it's going to curve all the way around the top of everything. So I'm just going to imagine a big, wide, round, elliptical shape somewhere around about here. It's hidden mostly off to the right hand side behind the head. So we'll just kind of come up and around, and it comes out quite far off to the left. To just get this wide shape, you'll notice it meets in with about halfway around the circle head around here. But as we curve up and go all the way around, the rest of it just tucks back in down about here. Now if we imagine the middle of this pointing up and away to the back like so, we're just going to actually create some smooth curve lines that join us all together. So it curves smoothly out like here, like the top of an onion, and curves smoothly out around here as well. And then we're just going to put some points right at the top. We're going to put 5 points in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the top. And then you can just create a curve line that follows a very similar situation. One curve line comes and meets the ear about there, and the other curve line, the sort of petals of the bulb when it opens up, comes and reaches over towards its ear around about there. So there's most of the head, there's most of the bulb. With the body, it's going to fall in line just inside this bulb. So if we imagine this line drops down here, the rest of the body is going to curve in on the inside edge. In terms of the depth of the body, we imagine this bottom edge of the circle, which is a little bit less than half, will go about this far down again. This will be our bottom line. So this distance here is going to be the same about this distance here. So there we know how it's going to fit in. So I'm going to just create a curve that comes off of around about this point here, a gentle circular curve that comes all the way down, and that's going to be for the back part of the leg of Bulbasaur's body. And the rest of Bulbasaur is just split into little curves and bumps. So I'm going to have a curve that falls in line with the front of the head, and it's just going to be almost like a small sausage shape. I'm just going to curve it in, create like a bit of a lump that's going to be the bottom of the limb, and let that curve back up and out and up, like so. And then the underside of the tummy pretty much falls in line with this circle. I'm going to drop a little bit lower and bring that up and around and further out. And then we can have Bulbasaur's arm just shoot off the side. So about halfway up the height of the eye, I'm going to let an arm, similar shape to this one really, just kind of stick out around about here, not too far. And then in a similar manner, it's going to meet up from this point, and it's just going to curve back in as well. Right up and away, like so. And then the back leg sits just about round here, just right in this middle. So I'm going to get another curve, drops the same distance as everything else, just another sausage shape really, around about there. Now this back leg is going to curve back up and in like so. There's going to be a bit of a tuck for the body, which is around about here. And then we're just going to draw 3 triangular point shapes on the end of each one, which are going to be the main bits of the talons, I guess you might want to call them, or the claws. So I'm just going to go 1 in the middle, triangle point. Then 1 on the right hand side, triangle point. And 1 over here. Very similar shapes. And then same on this side, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Just tucking that behind there. Then on this side, I might just start in the middle again. 1, these are a bit shallower. 2, 3, something like that. And then the same on the arm that's just sticking out. 1, 2, 3. Now the image I've just been looking on Google for a popular Bulbasaur image, I guess he's kind of waving in this, it's hard to tell. Now we just need to get in Bulbasaur's pattern really quickly. So these are just weird, like eggshell dinosaur shapes. You can just kind of draw a lump around about here. Just copy this if you want really, but it's hard to explain it. So just a bit of colour there. There'll be another lump that kind of comes in around about here. A little tiny, more triangular fragment of lump there. 1 on this side, just bulging in. And then 1 on the top of the arm as well. It just maybe comes down like that. There's also 1 right up in the middle of the head, around about here. Off centre, vaguely curvy triangle shape. Another 1 down here. Bit more of a bad square. And then a little triangle guy around about there. So we're just going to put a quick line in around about here for the nose. And that's essentially it. That's your Bulbasaur, everybody. Let's go ahead and put some pen lines on top of this. So there we have it. What I've just done here is I've brought a line that follows further round with the mouth, with the curve of the face, because this lump was sticking too far out, but I'll get rid of it once I scan it into Photoshop. When I add some colour, I'll make this bulb nice and green. The main bit of the skin and a bit more of an aquamarine turquoise type of green, and the lumps and patches in darker green with the eyes in red. Nice, quick, simple, easy. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you for another episode. Take care.